Something big is coming soon. Recently, we just got our hands on the Super Mario Galaxy Movie Direct, which although it wasn't a big direct or even a mainline direct, it did share a lot of news and information about the upcoming movie, and potentially 3D Mario, if you know what I mean. But this morning, Nintendo announced a Tamagotchi Life Direct for January 29th, which is going to be about a 20-minute direct. So if you put both of these things together, let's just say that we saved about 30 minutes in the upcoming direct. Well then, the upcoming direct is set to be 1 hour long, which means that we're probably going to be getting some big things during this direct. What's going on, everybody? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so during this 1 hour long direct, there's definitely a lot of things that Nintendo could announce. There's a lot of anniversaries that are going to be happening this year. Now let's just say that Pokemon is probably not going to be a part of this Nintendo Direct due to the fact that we're going to be seeing a Pokemon 30th Anniversary Direct or Pokemon Day Direct. So that leaves us with pretty much major Nintendo franchises or something that we haven't seen in a long time. Maybe the return of some classic games are going to be here, or it could be based on Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and some other thing. Maybe even Kirby. Who knows? But what we do know, it's going to be happening in February at some point. And they're going to start it off with saying how great the Nintendo Switch 2 is selling, and maybe they're going to start it off with, oh, it's also the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda and still the 40th anniversary of Mario, and they're like, oh, happy all of this stuff, so they're going to talk about this. And then we're going to drop into a trailer, so let's just say that they started off with The Legend of Zelda. We're probably going to be seeing a bunch of different Legend of Zelda things and a montage for the Legend of Zelda series that's going to go all the way back to the original Legend of Zelda game and then all the way to Tears of the Kingdom, which is the current Legend of Zelda game, or wait, Echoes of Wisdom, depending on how they do this. Then we could see a remaster or remake for maybe Ocarina of Time, or we can even see a port for Twilight Princess or even Wind Waker HD. That seems like the games that we are going to be seeing, and maybe a sneak peek or a reveal for the next Legend of Zelda game. Then we move over to some third-party things, which could be Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. Now that would be cool because maybe you want to play Elden Ring on Nintendo Switch, and we're probably going to be seeing other things, like maybe we could see Fable on the Nintendo Switch too. Now that definitely would be a really cool and interesting thing. What about Forza or Halo or any of those games? Like Xbox, we know that they're going to be working with Nintendo, they really want to bring their games over, so now's the prime opportunity for this Nintendo Direct. We're also probably going to be seeing a lot of games that you've never heard of before in that little segment, and then it's going to move over to, again, another Nintendo thing. Now that they don't have to talk about Tamagotchi Life or the Mario movie, this can be filled in with other things that are coming soon or that we haven't even seen before. Because a lot of the games that are actually coming out this year that we know about have already gone at least a direct or some news, a trailer, or it's from a completely different company. So let's just say during this Nintendo Direct, we're not going to be seeing anything Pokemon because during the Pokemon Presents, we're going to be seeing all of that Pokemon news. So that could get rid of Pokemon Pokopia and Pokemon Champions. So then we really don't have many things to talk about, but maybe a Metroid thing could slide into that. Because if you didn't know, it's also the 40th anniversary of Metroid this year. So let's just say that we get a Metroid 2 and 3 sort of port over. So then there you go. You can play these games, or you can play the entire lineup of Metroid Prime games on the Nintendo Switch 2. So after we see something about Metroid, after we see that, we're probably going to be seeing something about the GameCube application and maybe Animal Crossing. These two go hand in hand because it's the 25th anniversary of both of these. So maybe Nintendo is going to say, you know what, here's some other GameCube games that are going to be releasing later on this year. So maybe we're going to be seeing Animal Crossing. Maybe we're going to be seeing the GameCube get other games, like we're supposed to be getting Pokemon Like we're supposed to be getting Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Mario Sunshine, and all of these games. Maybe Nintendo's going to share what happened in those games and when we could see it. I think we are going to be seeing XD Gale of Darkness probably in February because of that anniversary of Pokemon and things. So overall, this does lead into that idea of seeing something pretty great during this Direct. Maybe we could even see even more GameCube games. Like, what about Mario Kart Double Dash or Super Smash Bros. Melee? We know that we're not going to be seeing anything Super Smash Bros. This year, but maybe a Switch 2 edition of Ultimate. Who knows, but then they're going to start talking about Switch 2 editions or something like that. One game is at least going to be getting a Switch 2 edition during this Nintendo Direct. So they'll be talking about that one game, explaining what the features are, the new things that they added, and why you should buy this Switch 2 edition. And then eventually, maybe we'll get something like the DLC for an upcoming game. Now, there's been some leaks, some rumors that point towards Nintendo wanting to add a DLC for Mario Kart World. This does make sense in some way, so maybe we can see some sort of DLC that adds some new tracks, some new courses, some new characters, some new customizations and ways to play. And then they'll be talking that, explaining this, and there you go. All of a sudden, we're near 45 minutes down the Nintendo Direct. So then they're going to hop onto the stage and say we have one more or two more things to share. They're going to share either one or two big things. Maybe it could even be three big things. Let's just say that they didn't announce the next Legend of Zelda game at the start of the Direct. Maybe this could be at the end of the Direct. Now, I'm not saying we are for sure going to be getting another Legend of Zelda or reveal for the Legend of Zelda series. It just looks like maybe this could happen for this special anniversary. So we get a random trailer. It's not going to have any gameplay or anything, but just a trailer. And then it's like, okay, we have one more thing to share. And after that, they're going to talk about the Legend of Zelda thing, and then they're going to talk about Mario, or maybe not. They're just going to say we have one more thing to share. We're about 55 minutes into this Direct. We get the announcement trailer for 3D Mario. Just think about how great that would be. You get the 3D Mario, that's going to be like about a 2-minute presentation of the next 3D Mario game. It's been 9 years. It's the 40th anniversary. It has the movie, the Galaxy movie. Maybe it's Galaxy 3 or whatever. And then it's boom, 3D Mario 2026. How great would that be? And then they're going to be talking about, yes, we've heard everything. And then 3D Mario is going to be coming this year, so get ready, get excited for 3D Mario. Maybe that's what the Nintendo is going to be happening, but overall, I think that this is what the Nintendo Direct is going to have for us, because now Nintendo really doesn't have many games to share, but third-party games, but games that we really want, like remasters and remakes, The Legend of Zelda. Hopefully we get a Link Between Worlds. That is one game that I really want to see personally, because although it is really great to play on the 3DS, I honestly wish I could play it on the big screen. And no, without emulation, I think that playing on official Nintendo hardware just feels better to me. But hey, you do what you want. I think that this Nintendo Direct is going to be something like this, because yet again, we don't have much. Maybe they're going to be announcing another amiibo for the 40th anniversary of Zelda. Let's just say that we get Ocarina of Time. Maybe another Ocarina of Time amiibo. Maybe a Link Between World amiibo or Wind Waker amiibo or something like that. Who knows? But right now it's looking pretty good. So what are your thoughts about this Nintendo Direct? Do you think that the Tamagotchi Life Direct led into the composition of seeing even more things during the actual Nintendo Direct? Or do you think, no, this is not going to happen? But also, you got to remember that we have been getting so many leaks. Now, of course, you can't just base off of leaks and say, you know what, these are going to be 100% true, because they're probably not going to be 100% true. But we also saw a little bit of leaks and rumors about seeing another Nintendo console. So maybe they're going to be announcing another Nintendo console. I'm not saying the Nintendo Switch 3, but maybe some sort of special edition Nintendo Switch 2 for Zelda's 40th anniversary or something. Who knows? Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Hope that you consider to hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. I know we've been talking about a lot of Nintendo Direct. I'm trying to change that over to something completely different. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully maybe you consider hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And with that being said, see you in the next one.